Police with assault rifles patrolling the streets like a platoon in Baghdad. Checkpoints and roadblocks on the highway stopping you. Warrantless searches of your home. Secret courts, indefinite detention. Open contempt for the Constitution by the government. It all sounds like an authoritarian state out of Orwell's 1984. But it's actually the United States of America in 2012. Our next guest and I have something in common. We're both worried about our republic. We were also each the youngest state judges in our respective home states. Of course, the big difference is Catherine Cryer still looks like the youngest state judge in her home state, the Lone Star State of Texas. She's the author of Patriot Acts, and she joins us now. Catherine, what a pleasure.
Maybe the check's in the mail.
What are you most worried about today in January 2012 about government in America?
That our original system, our representative constitutional republic, is brilliant. That the people on both the left and the right are going nuts. And we've got to go back to that system and understand how many policies, proposals, political rhetoric is aimed at destroying the founding republic. The rules of the game is set out by James Madison in the Grand Compromise. And if we don't understand what we need to protect, we're going to throw the whole thing out the window.
When you say the Grand Compromise, you're referring, of course, to the Constitution.
Yes.
I'm referring now to the Fourth Amendment, which, of course, prohibits unreasonable searches and seizures. How did it come about that after we fought a war against a king whose soldiers were able to write their own search warrants, 200 years later, we would elect a government that would authorize its agents to write their own search warrants? I speak, of course, of the Patriot Act. How did we get there? How did that happen?
In moments of fear, and this is literally the introductory pages in the book, I talk about what fear does to people inevitably. If it's from an external source, oftentimes we get together, right and left, and we bar the doors.
Right. If
it's internal, domestic economy threats like this, invariably we begin pointing fingers and making the other half of the country evil, bad, a threat to our well-being. And then, as Ben Franklin told us, we're willing to give up liberty for security, and yet history has never demonstrated that those compromises provide more security. All they do is corrupt this brilliant system the founders gave us.
Now, Catherine, I had the privilege of working with you a number of years ago here at Fox. I don't remember you being such a fierce defender of civil liberties as you are today. Is it the passage of time? Is it your observations of events in the past 10 years that have moved you this way? Or did I just not see this in you?
Well, think about it. When we were working together, and that was really during the Clinton years.
Yes, it was.
It was sort of 96 to 99.
Right.
Where were the big threats? It was
external.
It was in the Bush. I mean, we were in Yugoslavia.
Right.
We had concerns, post.
Did you fear the government in those days the way you do today?
Well, I always fear abuse of power. Always, from the private sector, the corporate powerful influences, from the government sector, as the founders did. And you've got to understand that. But it was really post 9/11 that the fear allowed the government to come in and begin to usurp our rights and build their power.
The book is Patriot Acts. And if you want a fascinating look of how the government has gone down the authoritarian route, by an award-winning former judge and a wonderful human being, get this book. Catherine, what a pleasure. Thanks for joining us. Come back and visit us again soon.
Thank you.
New York Mayor